Groups are logical containers of certificates. These are how we group the certificates. We decide who gets notified when a certificate is up for renewal or coming to the end of its expiration. And this helps us wrap these CA policies, because we may have a looser policy for a DevOps organization than we would have for maybe a DMZ or a web hosting team. These can be broken up by teams, platforms, certificate types, CAs, whatever you choose. Once again, very configurable, but this will create logical groupings of certificates for us to go ahead and apply CA policies to and notifications. And once we have those groups, we can start to build these CA policies. Within the CA policies themselves, we can assign certificate authorities. We can go ahead and decide specific, profile types or account types that we want to use for, anybody within this group. Decide what the defaults should be for the, security footprint of the certificate. What our defaults should be for the metadata that are put within here, and then we can tag those to these groups. That also plays into when we start talking about end user enablement. We no longer need to require every user to know exactly what security threat footprint they should be using, exactly what metadata should be within the certificate. We just ask them for the variable fields like email and common name, and therefore we can go ahead and build the rest of the certificate out for them in a standardized, repeatable way. So then the next thing I'll talk about is when we do start actually looking at end user enablement. We are capable of integrating, as I mentioned earlier, with your ITSMs, most of the major ones that are out there, and several others we don't have native integrations for, but we have experience integrating through API. When we do that, we have two options. We can either use the service catalog that you have, or we do have our own service catalog we can present to the users. And within this service catalog, we can come through here and we can get, some of the standard functionalities that we would look to use in the tool, like, generating a certificate. And the users can come and click on this and get a very simple, capability for creating their certificate without having to go into a whole lot of extra data. So in this case, this is based around a Microsoft Certificate Authority. We can go through here, we can plug in the blanks, decide which group we're assigning to, which can also be assigned based on their role-based access off of their user. So that will auto-populate in the case of a user that's not an administrator. And then go ahead and choose the rest of the basics here, and then click submit. But they don't have to go through and put in all their information as for the the security threat footprint and put in the metadata of the certificate. That's already been established for them in the policy. They just go through here and plug in their blanks, click submit, and it's going to go ahead and generate a request. In this case, this is a ServiceNow integrated ticket. So this is going to create a change request within ServiceNow and go ahead and create that certificate, file all the paperwork for us, and then we'll have access to that certificate to put it into an endpoint.